Welcome, Wargamers, to another YouTube channel video. I'm Chris, and today I'm doing a build me an army worthy of, and it is Azog's Hunters. This is a 700 point build. This sort of coincides with my Thranduil's Halls build me an army worthy of, whether I've done that one already or not, or I've done it already, whether it's uploaded first or not, I'm not sure. So to basically give you a bit of context while I get comfortable, is that I took this to Josh Retrofit's EAHC tournament, the Not GT, which was run the same weekend as the Games Workshop official Grand Tournament. So it's the exact same rules pack. It was 700 points, good versus evil, except it was on one day, 4 games, so 2 with each, rather than over 2 days. So it's basically for people that couldn't make the GT, for the actual GT for whatever reason, so it was nice to get over there and play with some toys, and I used something that I've never used before. This once belonged to Sam Page, apart from a couple of the heroes and whatever, but the majority of it was his. I bought it from him, and I was very keen to use it, and it was a good sort of polar opposite counterforce themey counter to Thranduil's Halls. Let's get straight into it. Azog's Hunters. We'll start off with the army bonus, which is that the Azog's Hunters army list may include 50% bows rather than 33%, which we'll get onto how many I have in a moment. Additionally, all models in the Azog's Hunters army list have their shoot value improved by 1, so basically you want to go for those bows, you want to make the use of it. It's there, use it, which is what I've done. So I'm going to run you through my army list first. So we have Azog on the White Warg. He is leading a single fell warg, 8 hunter orcs, 4 of which have bow, 3 with two-handed weapon, and 1 just as he comes. 2 hunter orcs on fell warg, and 1 hunter orc with banner. You can see down here. And then we have Thimble on warg, and he is leading 1 fell warg, 1 hunter orc on fell warg, and 4 hunter orcs, 2 of which have bow, 1 has a two-handed weapon, and 1 just normal. Then we have Azog on foot, because I haven't converted one, and he's leading the same warband as Thimble. And then we have Yazneg with warg and lance, and he's leading exactly the same warband again. So that is 34 models. And how many bows have I gone for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bows. Which doesn't seem as many as what I thought it was. 10 bows all the same. 10 bows, hitting on 4s for orcs, awesome. It's something actually threatening. I know it's only 80-inch range, but a 50% chance of hitting 10 shots every turn, plus Azog with his amazing special ult, which we'll get to, plus Thimble. Everyone forgets that he has a bow as well, so you've got 12 shots, and 12 shots is a decent amount. So let's start off with the main bad boy himself, which is Azog. So I had a bit of a debate with myself about whether I'd take Azog or Bolg, which you don't have to take Azog. Competitively, Bolg could well be better because he has defense 7 and the two-handed pick with Burley, but like I said in my last video, I wasn't going there just to win. I wanted to take something new, something quite themey, and see if I could do well with it, and sort of, let's say, challenge myself taking Azog. He's incredible, but you know, I didn't want to. It's Azog's Hunters, so I was going to take Azog, basically. So Azog has fight 7, perfect. 5 up shoot, that doesn't matter. Strength 5, defense 5, that is a problem. 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 5, not the best, but he's an orc hero, so. Might 3, will 3, and fate 1, because spoilers, he dies. He has a sword and a mace, which in the first game I used his in, I thought was a two-handed mace, and he had the Burley. Didn't make too much of a difference because he was rolling 6s all over the place anyway. I didn't even notice it, it never made a difference. So just keep an eye out for that, that's not a thing anymore. He has Heroic March, which is good. It shot the other board nice and fast because you have that low defense, you might need to get them somewhere quick to avoid lots of bow fire. He has Heroic Strike, rightly so. He's going to take down things with that, really, isn't he? We'll get onto his other special rules, it's going to help him that as well. Heroic Strength, which he definitely doesn't need, and Heroic Challenge, which could be quite fun. I mean, he can take the White Warg That's basically it in the Azog's Hunters list. It's a little bit confusing because it's in the Azog's Legion list and you can only take so much in the Azog's Hunters list. So you can take the White Warg. She is 50 points. Where is her profile? Her profile is here. So she has Fight 5, Strength 5, Defense 5, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, Courage 4, Might 3, Will 1, and Fate 1. Basically, what she does is means that you can share your might between Azog and the White Warg, all the while she's being ridden by Azog. So if I declare her at move, I can say, oh, I'm using the White Warg's might point. Basically counts as 6 might for the one model, and then you cross off, you use her might point. If they ever get separated, dismounted, then their stats separate. But to start with, 6 might, Fight 7, Strength 5, 3 attacks, 4 on the charge, 8 on the knockdown. It's quite disgusting. So yeah, he is a General of the North, which means that his Standfast has 12 inches and affects other Orc hero models as well. So all these low courage guys who have courage 3, he's going to keep them in the game with his courage 5, and he's got 3 will. And I'm the Master, which is his big one. So when rolling to wound an enemy hero after winning a fight, Azog never needs to roll more than a 3+. Okay, so he's taking out heroes. He's going straight for the general, which leads to really themey game because he can do it as well. Sometimes you might be quite cautious with going for your opponent's general, but he's going to be better than most of them with his Fight 7 and his Heroic Strike and Strength 5. Not that matters because he needs 3s anyway. Yeah, he's taking that hero out. A lot of things were scared of him at the tournament I was at. Celeborn was waiting till he was trying to immobilise Azog, but even then, with the sheer amount of numbers in my force, I couldn't really get enough in on him. Azog took out Celeborn in one go. I think I got 5 3s, and then obviously Celeborn needs to pass all his fate. We didn't take him out in one go. He took Rumal out in one go. Obviously, it's a hell of a lot easier than Celeborn. Yeah, basically each chomps through anything he wants, and he's hilarious at going through low defense elves. He loves it. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. What he can do. So basically, the idea between taking so many heroes in this list, I'll go over some of them in a sec, was the sheer amount of might. There's 6, 9, 12, 15 might in the force. So anything that, if you wanted to throw Azog at something big, the other game that I won, not only against Bathroom, I won against a really sturdy Iron Hills force that had a Ballista, Dane, Captain on Goat, a couple of Goat Riders, and your horrible shield wall behind a barrier as well, just to get through that too. Yaznog's was huge getting through that. So whilst he's only Fight 4, which is tied with Iron Hills Dwarves, he's Strength 4, Defense 5, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, Courage 3, 3 might, 1 will, 1 fate, so he's your named captain profile. He has armour and a 2-handed axe. He can Heroic Strike, so if I needed to, I could bump myself up over Dwarf Warrior, but you don't really want to be using it on that. But it's the Warg and the Lance, so it's the +1 to wound, getting you through that sturdy defense 7 stuff. And he just kept rolling 6s, which I know has nothing to do with his profile. That's just my amazing ability to roll 6s, specifically with Yazneg in that game. Meaning then he only needs 5s to get through defense 8 dwarves, which is with 4 dice. So he's killing 2 a turn reliably. He is your +1 to wound guy. He's great going up against Fight 3 troops that are quite tough to take on, so Warriors Means Tirith would be great at going through, for example. He does have the Price of Failure special rule, which is similar to Ugluk special rule. So if your army contains both Azog and Yazneg, and these two are in base contact at the beginning of your move phase, instead of rolling the dice to make a courage test when your force is broken, you can remove Yazneg from play. If you do so, Azog is considered to have automatically passed his courage test and his standfast. And his standfast will attack the entire battlefield zone. Furthermore, if Yazneg is removed from play in this way, then whilst Azog is still alive, all Hunter Orc captains, Fimbul and Nazog re-roll failed courage tests. So that could be pretty huge. So if he's spent all his might, he's done his job, killed a whole bunch of stuff, got your opponent on the ropes but you're just broken, and you need to keep in the game, just kill him, get him off the board, keep your numbers up. So it's handy little special rules there. I didn't use it, but it was handy to know it was there. Next up we have Nazog. He's one of my favourites. I've got on foot because I haven't converted him. He was great on foot actually. He was really handy because people sort of ignored him. He's the fourth least dangerous in your opponent's eyes because he's not mounted, which means that he can do his thing really subtly. So he's fight 4, strength 4, defense 5, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 4, better than Yasmith. 3 might, 1 will, 1 fate. He has heroic accuracy. He has armor, sword, and a bow. He's not wearing much armor there. He's pretty nude. He's got a loincloth, really. Let's be honest. But hey ho. He has Morgul arrows, which means that if he wounds something with his arrows, they then have to roll a dice each turn. If they roll a 1, then they suffer a wound. Ooh, that's good for that's good for taking out things like Boromir with no fate. That's good. But he has lethal aim. Each turn, Nazog may spend a single point of might without reducing his store, even if he has none remaining, to modify either at a hit roll, and in the way roll, or at a wound roll when shooting his orc bow. So he gets a free. He's Mighty Hero Bow, which is basically a +1 to wound. He already gets +1 to hit, so he's actually at 3+ shoot value because of the army bonus. Yeah, he is a +1 to wound with the bow basically. If you roll a 2 to hit, you might as well use that 3 might to hit. Why not? Yeah, it's really good. I killed a couple of mounts in that tournament with him. Definitely a Galathrim captain, knight captain. Took out his horse with him when he was starting to pressurise an objective. Nazog just sat back. If you want to see how I played this game this army in a bit more detail, we've got the Not GT review up on the YouTube channel. Just go check that out with Kieran and Sam talking about hers as well. But basically, it was a capturing control, which meant that Nazog sort of protected the right flank with his view guys. Thimble protected the left. Nazog protected the back home objective and shot anything that came towards the centre objective, and Azog just ploughed straight through the middle. Basically having this many models, how many did I say where there was? 34? 34. Which doesn't seem like a lot for 700 points, but considering how many heroes you have as well on top of it, and the shooting capabilities, yeah, you've really got a lot of good options, and plenty of mounted potential too. But we'll carry on with the heroes for a second. So we have Thimble. Thimble had really nice model. My sword broke on mine, so I put a bow on him because he has a bow in his war gear. He's fight 5, so that's good. So he's going through those elite troop better. Strength 4, defense 5, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 4, 3 might, 1 will, 1 fate, and he can heroic strike as well. So you've already got 3 heroic strikers in the army. He can take a warg, which I have, and when mounted, he's a hunt master. Thimble ignores the penalties suffered by cavalry models attempting to move in difficult terrain. This even enables him to gain the bonuses for charging. So that is awesome. He can charge stuff in the woods, just any difficult terrain. Also, fell wargs, same for all of the Miss armies, same as the white warg, don't need line of sight to charge. So if you've got something hiding in the woods, he'll just go charge him, no problem. Something I used in the first game. It meant that I could hide from elven shooting, hide behind a tree, not be seen. Then next turn I can go around, I can charge them, but they can't charge me. It's brilliant. Absolutely can't rate that special rule enough. The felt sight special rule. So yeah, that is the 3 heroes. So you got your Yasneg for the +1 to wound. You got your Thimble for the fight value and the charging bonuses wherever. You got Nazog for his shooting capabilities, and Azog who can just plough through right and just point him at something and he'll kill it. So now we're going to the Hunter Orc profile, which is mostly built up of his Hunter Orcs. So they are pretty darn cheap. They are fight 3, 5+ shoot value, but 4+ in this army for the bonus. Strength 4, awesome. So again, they're going through the defense 6 stuff a lot easier, quite a common defense. Probably not a lot of defense 4 rounds, that won't make a difference. But yeah, all those things like your Galathrim Glathrim, Rivendell and Mirkwood Elves that are paying the extra shield for defense 6. Got your Iron Hills or Khazards who are paying extra for the defense 8 for the shield wall and whatever you. It worries me as Tyria paying for the shield to get defense 6. Your Orokai paying for defense, gets defense 6, meaningless. Strength 4 goes straight through it. They are 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 2, and they have armour and 2 swords, and many blades special. So whilst they're on foot, they get 2 attacks. So that is awesome. 2 attacks of strength 4. They will cut through stuff. While they have low defense, if they lose the fight, they'll probably die, but if they win it, they'll probably kill. And with your most likely superior heroes, having 4 of them, and definitely an Azog, you're going to be doing a lot of killing, and usually more than your opponent. Because you can really manipulate the heroes to good effect, your heroes to good effect, so that your opponent's heroes aren't picking on your tiny orcs too much, because they'll want to stay clear of Azog. So yeah, that is basically the Hunter Orc, and then you have the Felwarg, which is obviously 10-inch movement, which Hunter Orcs can ride. They don't get the many blade special or +1 attack if they get charged whilst on a warg. But obviously if they charge, they got the bonuses, +1 attack, knockdown, 4 attack, strength 4, good. And Felwargs, I threw a couple in because they're pretty much expendable. They can rush something, they can just charge straight at the bows, take a lot of the fire away from my heroes. They can just go and sit on an objective and can quickly dash to another objective if they need to, and again they don't take away from the force too much. They're also handy just for having a spare one sort of around, if you like, so when the lines hit, usually what would happen is the Hunter Orcs on Felwarg would then wrap and take the spears, you get all the charge bonuses and what have you. But if you didn't want to risk them going behind lines, the Felwargs are a lot more expendable, just picking things off, just grabbing what they need to, just tidying up basically, is what they're used for. So this is the 700 points Azog's Hunters. The reason it works so well is because you've got the 12 shots every turn, so likelihood is you're going to be out shooting a lot of armies, so you've got that option. Your heroes as a collective and just Azog are going to be better than your opponent's heroes. At this point, so is where you start to get to the big stuff, but people have that decision of either go lower points heroes, so smaller heroes, lower tier heroes and more dudes, or big heroes and less dudes. That's pretty much your 700 points, 600, 700 points is the sweet spot for this army, because that's where your opponent is generally choosing between the two, whereas Azog's Hunters gets both. Plenty of numbers. 34 isn't a whole load, but it's still quite a few. And how much might did I say? 6, 7, 8, 9. 15 might, that was it. 15 might. Yeah, you're going to be outmighting your opponent. Spend all the white wargs as soon as you want her combating through stuff, just going straight through the centre. Azog basically plows straight through the centre, and then Thimble takes off one flank, Yasneg deals with the other flank, and you sort of engulf the so Azog splits it into 2 separate, goes straight down the middle of your opponent's battle line, splits it into 2 basically smaller armies, and you take them out in chunks, which with the strength 4 and the killing potential and everything else, this army does pretty well. So that was the idea in mind of building this list, and it worked really well. Won both my games at the tournament. Like I say, one was against Glathrim, so that wasn't easy, and then the other was against Iron Hills and their high defence, and they managed to bust through it. Use Azog to take out guys that are pressurising objectives that you need, and then once he's taken out that guy with his shooting, or if he hasn't been able to, Yasneg is usually my my little sort of sweeper keeper, if you like. He protects the back of the battle line. He's the one who uses his might points to keep the heroic moves going, so that Thimble and Azog can reliably win fights and go through. If you're finding something a bit tough to get through, send Yasneg in with his lance. He can go and chase something down for an objective too. Just basically use their mobility, essentially, is what I'm saying. And then the Felwargs just basically go and tidy up. Like I say, it's got everything you need. Although it's low defense, like I say, if you've got your battle line, say it's pretty badly set up like this, even this isn't bad, because if you've got heroes coming in and your opponent's battle line coming in, they aren't getting to many of your orcs, and they're not going to want to go near Azog pretty much anywhere within this entire range, because he'd just easily hero combat off something and take out whatever he wants. So Azog is, even if he doesn't do much killing, it's just the fear factor. It stops your opponent doing so much stuff, and that's what happened in my game against the Iron Hills, in that Dane was just so scared of him, although there was a slight rules mistake in my opponent thinking a Master of Battle, but that's irrelevant. Even so, he said he would have kept him away from Azog, because he can just take Dane out on 3s. He's got the 5-out advantage on a lot of heroes, so yeah, this is an incredible army. 600, 700 points is a sweet spot for them. Anything high, you start to get big things in, like casters and monsters that can just dismount it all and ruin it all. So 700 points is pretty much perfect for them. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out the Thranduil's Halls one as well. Any questions about this army list or anything you've changed, put in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching.